Coming up on today's show, we will explain why the Seattle Seahawks will shock the NFL in 2025. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader, here with you. Thanks for joining us. Before we go any further in today's program, you may recall we have a pre-draft sub-battle going on between some NFC powerhouse channels here at Chat Sports. And I have very good news. Seahawks Today is leading the way with 1,269 new subscribers here on the channel. Very nice. 49ers Report not too far behind at 1,260. The Cowboys Report also hanging in there at 1,210. Let's win this sub-battle. Let's see what channel can get the most new subscribers between now and the draft. I know you hate the Niners. I know you hate the Cowboys. For nonstop Seahawks coverage between now and the draft, subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. Lock us in for free. Doesn't cost you a thing. Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. Nobody knows this, folks, but I'm going to tell you right now. I think that people across the National Football League are in for a pleasant surprise with what is ahead for this Seahawks team in 2025. And there's been a lot of criticism of how John Schneider and Mike Macdonald have gone about things with who they've moved on. There was a belief among the so-called experts that this team was in rebuild mode when they moved on from Geno Smith and DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. And I, your fearless leader, was quick to tell you, hold on a second, folks. This is not a rebuild. This is a retooling. And they did that with bringing in Sam Darnold and Cooper Kupp and DeMarcus Lawrence. But that hasn't stopped the criticism. ESPN, just this past week, said of all 32 teams in the NFL, that Seattle had the second worst free agency period of anybody. Ben Solak of ESPN, very critical, said this: I loved this class. If we had a time machine and it was 2020, Kupp is a dominant wide receiver one. Lawrence still has legs as a pass rusher. Reed has just emerged as a solid starting defensive tackle. And Marquez Valdez-Scantling is still a dangerous field stretcher. Let them hate. I don't need the mainstream media's approval for this Seahawks team. I don't need that. I've seen with my own two eyes the decisions that have been made, some tough ones, and I feel very confident in the direction of this team going forward. Now, the offensive line situation still needs to be addressed, and I think we're going to get some answers on that sooner than later, but I am cautiously optimistic that this team is on the right track going forward from here. So let's start with the keys to success for Seattle, beginning at the quarterback position with Sam Darnold. I've said it before, I'll say it again. When it comes to Sam Darnold, I like everything that I see. He's the real deal. He's a better quarterback than Geno Smith. He's younger. He's cheaper. I am all in on Sam Darnold. And what a story for Sam Darnold, as he was in a tough position with the New York Jets and the Carolina Panthers. And I'll say this, I don't think those circumstances that he was put in and the struggles that he had with those two teams define who he is as a quarterback. He goes to San Francisco, was the backup behind Brock Purdy, started to get his mojo back, ends up in Minnesota, and that's where he really blossomed last year. As a Pro Bowler, voted the NFL's most improved player last year. I think Sam Darnold, the version that we saw from him in 2024, is who he really is. And that version is here to stay. Last season, look at just the dramatic increase in production, how much better he was in 2024. 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 66% completion percentage, over 4,300 yards. And for those of you that say, well, he walks into Seattle having a tough offensive line situation, and Geno was still productive even with those difficulties there. Hey, Sam Darnold was sacked nearly as much as Geno Smith was last year, and look at his numbers compared to Geno. This is a step up. This is the right guy for this moment. Do you believe in Sam Darnold? Type B for believe, D for don't. Weigh in our pinned comment today. Let us know what you think. You might get an ad break while that ad is playing. Get your votes in. Let us know. B for believe, D for don't. Number 2, the defense. I'm telling you right now, this defense has got some dogs. They can bark. Let them eat. Woof, woof. I mean, I'll roll with these guys. I'll go to war with these dudes. You're telling me. So you're telling me I get Ernest Jones entering the prime of his career, and he just signed. I get to roll with Jarran Reed, who every team in the league would love to have a guy like Jarran Reed, who's a hell of a leader. I get Josh Jobe back. Excited about him being back. Hopefully he's not a starter, but at the very least a good depth piece. DeMarcus Lawrence comes in, and I think he's on a mission. He's got something to prove. I think that DeMarcus Lawrence is going to come in hungry. And we've seen Mike Mack be successful in the past with some of these older pass rushers. I bring in a guy like D'Anthony Bell, who at the very least could be a good special teams piece. But he comes in, and there's already talk about him being that number 3 safety and providing some flexibility. Not to mention what I already have with Spoon, Rake, Byron Murphy. All right? Leonard Williams, Leonard. That's a dog right there. Leonard, he's going to get it done. And Julian Love, who's a Pro Bowler. Kobe Bryant. We're working, folks. And the improvement is already showing. This defense was cheeks for years. And last year, as Mike Macdonald was still assembling this thing, they were 13th in the league in opponents' points per game, 12th in opponents' yards per game, 10th in opponents' third down conversion percentage, 7th in opponents' red zone scoring touchdown percentage, 10th in opponents' touchdowns per game. And now this defense is even better. And there's more coming with the draft and potentially some more free agents and trades on the way. There is no reason why Seattle cannot have a top 10 defense in 2025. And I didn't even mention Boye Mafe or Derek Hall or Uchenna Nwosu. You got some dudes. I can roll with these guys. I can make that work. What do you think? Can the Seahawks have a top 10 defense in 2025? Y for yes, N for no. Get in that comment section. Let us know if you believe in that defense, if they're going to get the job done or not. Cooper Kupp jerseys are on sale now. I'm excited about this guy coming to town. And we have free shipping available at chatsports.com/cup is where you can get yours. Chatsports.com/cup is where you can find these jerseys. And I got to tell you, I'm so excited that Cooper Kupp's here. It's a great story. But in the words of Natasha Benningfield, the best is still unwritten. And Cooper Kupp, he's going to finish his story here in Seattle. And you're going to want to wear this jersey because it's going to be a hell of a story to tell of what he did to return home to Washington. Growing up in the eastern side of the state, playing for Eastern Washington, going to the LA Rams. Now gets to play for the rival team, represent his home state. Why wouldn't you want a jersey with that? Chatsports.com/cup. Link is in the comments and description of today's video. Number 3, last on our list of keys to success of why I believe the Seahawks are going to shock the NFL in 2025. Coaching. You got the right head coach in Mike Macdonald. But it's not just Mike Mack. Mike Mack, it's not just him and his defense. But now you got an offensive system that suits what you're trying to do. Look, I'll say this. Ryan Grubb, I wish him nothing but the best at Alabama. No hard feelings. But what we saw last year from that offense did the defense no favors. None whatsoever. Klint's coming in, and they're going to play complementary football. They're going to help this defense out. Playing smash mouth, physical, tough football, establish the run, win at the line of scrimmage, open up the play-action passing game. That's only going to help the defense. And they're all on the same page there. Mike Mack said this recently on Kubiak's scheme. What's exclusive to that scheme is you got to be able to move, got to be able to change direction, think on your feet. These guys have a great track record of evaluating guys and developing them. And we have some people in-house too. I've spoken to this at length, but the guys that we have on our roster are good at this scheme, and I'm excited to develop these guys and see where they go. Kubiak's offensive plan is real simple. They're going to run a balanced attack. No more of these days of throwing the ball 40 and 50 times a game. That ain't happening anymore, thank heavens. Kubiak also is going to fit the scheme to the personnel. They're going to play to the strengths of the players that are there. This is not a Ryan Grubb situation where it's my way or the highway. No, we're going to put our players in the best position to succeed. We're going to see a return of the fullback position. I don't know who that is yet, but the fullback will play a very important role. Get ready to learn Mike Allstott, my friends. I love me some Mike Allstott. The fullback position is still very valuable in the NFL, especially for teams that want to be physical. We're going to maximize the tight end position. Whether it's Noah Fant or A.J. Barner, the days of trading for Jimmy Graham in his prime and doing nothing are over. They're over, folks. The tight end position, yeah, it's going to make an impact in the red zone now. Get ready for it. The top teams in the NFL, the Chiefs with Travis Kelce, the Ravens with Mark Andrews, the Niners of a few years ago with George Kittle. What did they all have in common? They all had top tight ends. Seattle is going to figure it out. They better. And on top of that, Klint Kubiak is going to get the best out of Sam Darnold too. He is going to get the very best. They're going to help out Sam, and he is, I think, the perfect quarterback for what this system is asking for. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. What's your confidence level in the Seahawks coaching staff, 1 through 10? I'm excited. I'm feeling really, really good. I'm going to go with about an 8 out of 10. Give me your confidence level in the comment section. Let me know. For continuing Seahawks coverage, you already know what to do. Subscribe now for the latest happenings on your favorite team all offseason long. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV. My name is Tyler Jones, and I appreciate you for making time out of your day to be here on Seahawks Today. Peace.